of improving Warren, and we all recognize that. This is the WCS meeting. What is the WCS? WNLC meeting, Warren Neighborhood Leadership Council. It's made up of every neighborhood group in the city, representing not only for their neighborhood, but for the betterment of the city as a whole. For those that didn't know that. The WNLC has met several times before tonight to make sure that this meeting runs as smoothly as possible. We have put together several questions. The questions we ask only are those that we've elected the speaker to for tonight. Introducing the following speakers will be Shanika, Nola, and Leah. So they will be answering the questions. We will be consistent in answering questions as you do the same to us. If we feel that anyone in the WNLC is rambling and endangering the completion of the agenda, we will first respectfully hold up a red card, giving them 30 seconds to complete the answer. Everyone is to speak respectfully. This is a passionate issue for many of the people in this room, but this meeting is not for the time of outburst. This is a deadline looming, and it is the best that we don't waste a second. We are here to discuss the proposed production and of non-system. We are here to discuss the proposals of the nonprofit organization and specific addresses on the demolition. We are here to get results and what is happening with the demolition on the vacant properties, if anything at all.
All right, I'm up.
Start up.
All right, I've prepared questions in advance, so I'll just mostly be reading off my paper. All right, the first question. Who in the city administration was actually responsible for the success or failure of the program to date?
Myself.
And will you hold yourself accountable for the potential loss of $1 million?
For the potential loss, I hold myself accountable for all the actions of the City of Warren administration.
Okay. Going forward, which staff person will be responsible for the day-to-day operations of the project, such as the contracting and accepting contractors, etc.? Who will be supervising them?
Actually, Director Cantona Mesa will be, but as of today, I think we've identified 2 people to work with the county land bank to streamline our efforts. And I believe that would be John May and Lori McMasters.
Okay.
And Julie Green with the county.
So they'll be running like the day-to-day operations?
Well, GMP runs the day-to-day operations of the land bank.
Okay.
Understand they're the fiscal agent of this whole process. They'll be our contact persons as it relates to getting contracts out and batches and turning paperwork in for reimbursement.
What happened to the strategic plan as reflected in the maps submitted by the city to the land bank? Will we still be using
that
those?
plan is the basis of what we're going to do in terms of the houses we're knocking down. We're going to stick with those priority maps as the template that we're going to use as we go forward. The City of Warren did decide, and we talked about this out front, that we were going to do fire damaged homes and those homes that were places of that we knew were compromising the public health of neighborhoods that were crime-riddled or that had been havens for criminal activity.
So, just to recap, so you're going to stick to the map with
Absolutely.
the exception of the fire-damaged homes and
Yes.
any safety hazard type homes?
Yes.
Okay. In the period between the land bank's workshop for all sub-recipients in August of 2012 and March of 2013, how many houses had been torn down?
I believe one.
One, okay. And why didn't the CD department seek to have all fire damaged, crime, and safety properties put out for asbestos and subsequent demolition immediately following the August meeting, which was attended by 3 CD staffers?
You want to answer that?
I don't know. I don't think that we had an active list yet. We were looking at the list. I mean, as soon as we had the list and they were verified by the administration, it did go out.
So,
Understand, they still have to be tested. They went out for testing.
okay.
As soon as we had the list in hand, and they went out for testing. After they went out for testing, then they went out to bid. They're out to bid.
So how many have been tested today?
All the fire tests, all the ones that are fire damaged are being tested right now as we speak. They
So
started.
that's
They were
the
started.
group of 16
I'm
or
sorry.
the group of 25?
Those have already been tested. They're out for abatement this week.
Okay. The group of 25?
The fire damage. The
Oh,
group of
just the fire
25. I don't know which group of 25. We
So
have.
the
so
second
from
group.
what I heard,
The second
there's
group's already
16.
tested. They're out to bid. The bid opening for that group is next Monday.
15th.
Those are already been tested.
Okay.
Shanika, weren't you asking kind of relating back to last fall, right? So why didn't this happen last fall instead of now? Is that what
Right,
you're
so 16 plus 25, we're looking at roughly no more than 40 homes. So why haven't the other houses been tested yet?
They're
Was it just
tested.
an issue of coming up with that finalized
It's
list?
just a matter of coming up with a list. It's just a
Okay.
matter of determining what the list is. Understand that the CD department gets the list. Once the CD department gets the list, we then start putting the bid books together and getting them to the testers.
Okay, good. So let's talk about the list. So when will we be finalizing that list? Where's the formula to finalize that list? Last meeting that I attended where Mr. Mayor was there were 3 or 4 different lists. We had the fire damaged homes, we had the board certified condemned list, and then we had the police list of safety crime homes that have had criminal activity at them.
Which meeting was it?
With Councilwoman Cheryl.
Oh, the committee meeting.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So what is the formula that we're using? Because I feel like those are 3 different lists, and like what formula determined the final 100 and 150?
It's 127, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, the final list, if we're going to call it the final list, is the board order demolition list.
Okay.
The process starts in the health department, meaning houses are assessed and determined whether they are to be condemned or not. From the condemnation list, they ultimately, in most cases, and Bob can speak better to it, in most cases then make their way to the board order demolition list. So you have what we're calling the final list as the board order demolition list, weighing it against the map, the priority map that was on, that is on file with the Attorney General's office, and to the you had priority area 1, for example. So you're trying to get all of the houses on the board order demolition list that are in priority area 1 tested, abated, and ultimately demolished, and so on as to, okay, you pull them off the demo list and try and plug them into what priority area we're working on at the time.
Is there a way we can get that finalized number of 127 homes that we do plan to knock down?
Sure.
Okay. That's it.
What is the situation?
Oh, are you concerned about the way the money has been handled might jeopardize our potential hardest hit funds?
No.
Okay. Can you expand
That's
on
good
that?
to know.
Sure. We have every intention, I'm sorry, Mayor,
Go
you'll
ahead.
in front. We have every intention of meeting the deadline and spending the monies available for reimbursement through the Moving Ohio Forward program.
Okay.
If track record is going to be how the hardest hit fund monies are going to be divvied up, we're confident we'll be in a good position to show a successful track record through this program.
We're just so we can, we're sort of waiting on the ground rules and the specifications of that program as well. From what I've been, from my contacts and what I've been told, is it'll be a different kind of a procedure, a little more complex, but I believe it'll be handled administratively a lot cleaner. But the way you make the formula or the way that you qualify is a little different.
It's also going to be handled by a different agency of the
Yes.
state.
Yes, that's what we're encouraged by.
Okay. thank you. I'm flipping it over to Nola now.
Okay, I just want to clarify a little bit what you were just talking about, Doug. As you're aware, the fundamentals of the program weren't a problem for other cities. And I know you've heard these numbers that Youngstown has torn down 100, Lorraine 150, Niles and Girard did there too. And I'm wondering did we drop the ball? Where was the not understanding the
Well,
program?
I would